Hey guys, welcome to your very first Fit Beyond 30 Beginner Strength Series workout. This is gonna be the first full body workout of a 4 workout week, and I'm super excited to take you guys through it. One quick reminder, if you have not warmed up yet, I highly encourage you to go check out our video. I'll link it up here on dynamic warm-up. It's basically just a little bit of cardio, some movements to get you moving and grooving before you actually jump in to a weighted workout. This is gonna keep your mobility improving over the long term. It's also gonna keep you more injury-free, as well as the movements are gonna feel a lot better when you're actually in your workout. You should feel actually like the movement quality goes up. So that is the whole point of a warm-up. If you have to leave this page, go do that and come back. I highly encourage it. And otherwise, if you're good to go, we will get into the workout at hand. If you're looking at the actual workout description and you're not sure what things mean, I want to give you a quick breakdown so you can actually understand how the workout is set up. If you're coming back, you're in your second, third, or fourth week and you want to skip this section, totally fine. Just skip to this timestamp. So when it comes to a rep range, like 6 to 10 reps, we want to use the higher end of the range in that first week. So meaning if we're doing the 10 reps, we're using a lower weight or a moderate weight. And then in the following weeks, maybe we're doing 8 reps on the second week at a little bit of a heavier weight, and then near the third or the fourth week down towards the 6 reps for an even heavier weight than we did in the second and the first week. This will ensure that we progress ourselves, we get stronger, and we actually promote strength and muscle gain. So when it comes to picking the difficulty of the weights that you're using, there's a few different ways that we can do this, but since you're a beginner, I usually start with the RPE scale, which just means rate of perceived exertion. Is this the best scale to always use? I don't think so, but for somebody that's new, it's a good way to sort of gauge where you're starting from. So in the beginning here, a lot of them are going to be at about a 7 out of 10, meaning that it's doable, but it's still somewhat difficult. I don't want it to be so hard that you're straining and breaking form. I don't want it to be so easy that it doesn't feel like you're working out. So pick something that's gonna challenge you, but you can still keep good technique. And on the technique side of things, I would highly encourage that you guys film yourselves so you can watch it back yourself and then actually compare to the video how things look. Just 2 more pieces here. One of those is gonna be tempo. So this is actually the speed at which you're completing each repetition. The first number is the eccentric. The second number is a pause. The third number is a concentric, and the last number is a pause. So I'm just gonna run you through it as if I was doing a bench press, right? So the first number is gonna be 2 seconds down. So I'm going 1, 2, 0 pause at the bottom, up for 1, pause for 1 at the top. But as a basic rule of thumb, if that still doesn't really make sense to you, you want to control the stretch portion of the movement, and you want to be a little bit faster and more explosive on the pull or the squeeze portion of the movement, right? So I'll give you one more example for a bicep curl. Control 2 seconds on the way down, no pause at the bottom, 1 on the way up, squeeze at the top, right? So I'm controlling the descent, I'm squeezing hard, and then I'm holding usually at that top portion just for a moment, and then I'm controlling back and we start the cycle again. And lastly is going to be the rest period, and the rest period is just how long you rest between sets. So if I was to do a series of exercises, I'd get a small rest period afterwards. It could be 30 to 45 seconds, and then I would repeat that set for a second time. Once again, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please click that button down below and let's get into the workout. So we're gonna start with a simple activation superset of banded side steps and bear crawl shoulder taps. Banded side steps, we are going to assume a athletic position, so a slight break in the hips with the band slightly above our knee. If you wanna make it harder, you can actually go down towards the ankle, and that will increase how difficult this movement actually is. From there, we are going to take a step side to side while keeping the feet straight forward. You're gonna do 12 steps to one side and then 12 steps to the other, and then you're immediately going to go into your bear crawl shoulder tap. So for the bear crawl shoulder tap, we're assuming a quadruped position with the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, and we're going to lift our knees about 2 inches off the ground. So this is going to engage our core. It's going to help utilize some shoulder stability as well as some hip stability, and it's a really great overall movement to warm up the trunk and the limbs. We're going to do a total of 16 to 20 taps total, so that's 8 to 10 taps per arm. Both of these movements should be done with a controlled tempo. Once you've completed the full round through, we're then gonna take 30 to 45 seconds of rest, and we will repeat this for another round. So after you've rested, I want you to pause the video, complete it for another round, and then we'll get into our next set of exercises. For the first exercise pairing, week over week, to make it a little more difficult, you can change how tense the band is. I would keep the same rep range though. If things get way too easy and you don't have a hard enough band, you can simply add more repetitions. repetitions. And then for the bear crawl shoulder taps, basically you can just keep that same rep range throughout the entire program. You could add additional reps if it got too easy, but keep in mind these are more of activation and priming exercises before you get into the deadlift. So that's my advice for progressing these throughout the weeks on that first pairing. Our second exercise is going to be a kettlebell deadlift. This is going to be for 6 to 10 repetitions, and I want you guys to once again be doing a weight that is difficult but not too hard that you can't complete the exercise with good technique. For the kettlebell deadlift, we are gonna set up with a kettlebell in between the feet. If it's too deep and you feel like you can't get down without rounding your back, you can actually use a weight plate to bring the weight up to you, and this is actually gonna be a little bit more comfortable for most people to start doing it, and then you can progress into kettlebell being all the way on the floor. To complete the deadlift, we're going to break at the hips. We are going to pack our shoulders back and down. We're going to grab the kettlebell right in the center and make sure that that's right between the feet. From there, we will take a breath in. We will brace our core by pushing our abs out, and we will push the ground away from us hard into a full standing position. We will then repeat that for 6 to 10 reps, using a tempo of 2 seconds on the way down, 0 at the bottom, 1 second on the way up, and a 1 second pause at the top. You'll rest for 60 to 90 seconds and then repeat that for 2 more rounds for a total of 3 rounds. Pause the video here if you need to complete your rounds. To progress the deadlift, if you're in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th week, I would go up in weight. I would go down in reps. So if you did 10 reps for all sets in the first week, I would go maybe to 8 reps at a heavier weight, down all the way to maybe 6 reps in the last couple weeks at an even heavier weight. If you feel like your strength is going up and up and up, there's no reason why you can't do 10 reps and just consistently go heavier each week as well. Like I said, the rep ranges are there to help you get stronger, but if you feel like you're blowing that out of the water, that's totally fine. So now we're gonna be moving into a single arm dumbbell row. This is a back exercise. It's great for posture. It's great for lat strength. So to set this up, we are gonna need a bench and a dumbbell. So you're going to assume a 3-point position on the bench. So 1 knee on the bench under the hip, 1 arm on the bench under the shoulder, and 1 leg kicked out to the side. From there, we're going to take our dumbbell. We are going to drop our shoulder back and down, and we are going to pull the elbow towards the hip, thinking about primarily using our lat or our back to move the weight and letting the arm follow through. You don't want to pull the hand towards the shoulder and primarily use your bicep and arm here. You want to think about using the back primarily, and we are going to do this between 8 and 12 reps on each side, once again with a 2-second eccentric or down portion, a 1 second up portion, and a 1 second hold at the very top so you get a nice squeeze in the back. We're then going to rest for 60 to 90 seconds once again, once you've done both sides, that is. And then you can pause the video here if you completed your first round, and then do your next 2 sets, and I'll see you for the next exercise. To progress the dumbbell row throughout these weeks, you're starting at a rep range of 12 reps. Once again, you could be going 10 reps for a heavier weight in the 2nd week and or 8 reps in the 3rd and 4th week for an even heavier weight before you deload and then rinse and repeat. We're now moving into a box step up. So to set this up, we are going to need a low to medium sized box. I recommend starting with a lower box first, and I would start body weight and then add dumbbells as you get a little more proficient with this. The goal is to actually take the weight off the back foot and primarily push through the front foot. We want to keep that front knee in line with the 2nd toe. So we don't want to let the knee cave in. We want to keep things nice and centered and make sure you're using the pushing leg for the production of most of that force. If you're pushing off the back foot in the beginning, that's okay, but we want to try to avoid it as it is a single leg strength exercise. On the way back down, once we've stood up fully through the step up, you actually want to control the descent. So once again, about 2 seconds on the way down, 1 second on the way up, and a 1 second pause at the top of that movement. Picking a weight, once again, that's difficult but doable for the rep range. And then you will rest 60 to 90 seconds once you've done both sides. And you can pause the video here until you repeat both of those next sets, and I will see you for the next exercise. To progress the box step up over these coming weeks, you can simply use the top of that rep range, which is about 10 reps, and you can move down in weight. So the 2nd week, maybe you're doing 8 reps at a heavier load. If you started body weight, now you're adding dumbbells, and the last week of the program, maybe you're doing 6 reps per leg, even heavier, right? So we want to be getting stronger week over week here, and that's how I progress the box step up. So next we are going to move into our incline barbell barbell push-up, this is basically a baby step towards doing a full push-up, and I like it more than the knee push-up because we're actually working on engaging our glutes, our core, and our full body, and it's a really good way to start to strengthen the chest and shoulders for real push-ups moving forward. If you feel like this is too easy and you want to advance yourself, you could easily be doing push-ups on the floor or even a decline push-up as a bit of a substitute for this exercise. What we're gonna do though is we're going to set up a barbell in front of us. We're gonna have it at about just below chest height or slightly lower if you wanna make it harder. We're going to grab onto the barbell. We're going to twist in on the bar, feeling our lats and our back activate a little bit, and then we're gonna lower our sternum down to the bar. We're then going to push ourselves away from the bar with control, making sure to not over push and protract. We wanna just push as far as our arms will go, and then we rinse and repeat. We're gonna be using a tempo of 2 seconds on the way down towards the bar, 0 at the bottom, 1 second up, and 1 second pause at the top. Once again, we're gonna be taking 60 to 90 seconds rest between rounds. You guys can pause the video here until you've completed your other 2 rounds for a total of 3 rounds. And we will see you in the next exercise. To progress the barbell incline push-up, I would simply add more repetitions if you're reaching the top of that rep range, or you could start to play around with actually throwing in some lower push-ups. So moving the bar from maybe chest height down to belly button height or even lower is a good way to progress that until you're all the way on the floor, and then you can start doing floor push-ups. And last but certainly not least, we have the dumbbell farmer's carry. This is a great full body exercise, but specifically it's gonna help to give you a stronger core, stronger shoulders, stronger arms for everyday life. So all we're gonna do for this is we're gonna take 2 heavier dumbbells, something that you can hold on to for 30 to 45 seconds. We're gonna pick them up and we're gonna walk with them with control, right? I don't want you guys to speed through these right now. I don't want you guys to be racing around. I want you guys to take controlled heel-toe steps and think about keeping trunk stability, meaning that we're keeping our body in very good posture and we're keeping the dumbbells away from the body, not resting them against the body. I always say, imagine you have 2 buckets of paint and you don't want to spill any of the paint, right? We should be walking with very stable movement here, shoulders down away from the ears, biceps and arms away from the torso so that we get the full effect of this exercise. You'll complete 30 to 45 seconds of a walk until you feel like, things are getting tough, you can't hold on anymore. And then we will repeat that for 3 rounds, and then you will rest 60 to 90 seconds once you've done both sides. And you can pause the video here until you complete your sets. To progress the dumbbell farmer's carry over these coming weeks, I would simply just add more weight until you can't hold it for longer than 30 seconds. So maybe in the first week you're doing a moderate weight, you're getting 45 seconds every single time. You up it the next week, maybe you're only able to get 35 or 40 seconds. That's still fantastic. And the last week you're barely getting 30 seconds on that final weight. That's a good way to progress that. I do want it to be a challenge on the dumbbells farmer carry. It is supposed to strengthen your forearms, strengthen your arms. So if you feel like you can't even hold on at the end, that's totally fine. That's almost the point of this exercise, is to strengthen that, as you will likely in your real life be carrying things every now and again. Awesome work, guys. You just made it through your first workout of the beginner strength series. Keep in mind, I do want you to track your weights. So next week when you come back and do this again, you can build on your weights. You can go a little bit harder than you did last time, and then we see that forward progress. To keep up with the program, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and if you have any questions regarding the program, please leave a comment down below. I do answer all questions down there, and we will see you guys in the next video, which is going to be day 2 of the workout program, full body beginner strength series.